From ancient times, when the radiant light of the Blessed One's wisdom still shone brightly across the world, humanity was given a luminous path to walk, the wondrous Dharma that he left for all beings. The Buddha was not only an enlightened one who attained liberation for himself, but also opened a way for everyone to transcend the cycle of birth and death and escape the circle of suffering. That Dharma has been taught and preserved through many generations, becoming a guiding lamp for countless souls lost in the night of ignorance. Yet, like all worldly laws, whatever arises must also undergo prosperity and decline. The Dharma is no exception to the law of impermanence. In the scriptures, the Blessed One foretold that the Buddha's teachings would endure through three great periods: the Age of True Dharma, the Age of Imitated Dharma, and the Age of Degenerate Dharma. In the Age of True Dharma, the teachings were preserved in their pure essence. Practitioners easily attained enlightenment, moral discipline was honored, and the precepts were upheld with great care. This was the era when the light of the Buddha's Dharma shone most brilliantly, illuminating every step of those seeking liberation. In the Age of Imitated Dharma, the outer forms of the teachings remained. Temples, stupas, statues, and scriptures were still built and revered, but human diligence had waned. Attaining realization became rare, and practice often turned into mere imitation of form, lacking living substance. Then came the Age of Degenerate Dharma, when the teachings still echo but their essence has faded. Many study the Dharma, but few attain realization. The precepts are neglected, and attachment to self and dispute spread even among the ordained. This is the age we live in today, the most challenging era, where the darkness of ignorance thickens, yet it is also an opportunity to recognize the fragility of life and awaken the heart to seek truth. The Age of Degenerate Dharma is not only described in the scriptures, but is vividly evident in today's world. People look outward more than inward, swept along by the whirlpool of materialism, fame, and power, leaving compassion and mindfulness increasingly scarce. In the Age of True Dharma, a single teaching could awaken a person. A single piece of advice could turn someone from evil to good. But now, even after hearing thousands of Dharma talks, people often let them pass like wind through the ear, rarely putting them into practice. Moreover, even within the ranks of monks and nuns, decline is hard to avoid. Many places build massive temples and towering statues, host grand festivals, but the spirit of the precepts is neglected, form is prioritized, while the core practice of eliminating greed, hatred, and delusion is forgotten. Beyond the monastery, falsehood prevails, morality is disregarded, and people no longer fear karma, willing to deceive each other for immediate gain. All these are signs of the Age of Degenerate Dharma. Yet the darker the night, the more precious the light of truth becomes. When all false values are exposed, those sincerely seeking the path will see clearly the impermanence of the world and give rise to the resolve to practice. In other words, the Age of Degenerate Dharma is a time of testing, a refining fire distinguishing the false practitioner from the true, revealing steadfast hearts unshaken by the turbulent world. Practicing in this era cannot rely on mere appearances or hope for ease. In the Age of True Dharma, a few words of instruction could bring deep understanding, but today the mind is obscured by countless defilements, demanding greater patience and perseverance. First, a practitioner must uphold the precepts as a foundation, for the precepts are the protective fence of the mind, guarding against the traps of desire and craving. Keeping the precepts is harder now, with a world full of temptations, but precisely in this difficulty lies greater merit. Next comes meditation, restraining the wandering mind from chasing external distractions. In a noisy society, even a moment of stillness is precious. With steady practice, the light of wisdom will gradually shine forth. Moreover, one must cultivate compassion, for compassion is the antidote to hatred and selfishness, a cool stream extinguishing the flames of anger consuming hearts in this dark age. Practice today does not necessarily require retreating to deep mountains and forests. Even in markets, offices, and homes, one can create a place of practice if mindfulness is maintained. What matters is not the location, but whether the mind abides in the Dharma. Therefore, in this Age of Degenerate Dharma, practitioners must rely on the three jewels, trust deeply in karma, uphold the precepts, cultivate meditation and compassion, and persevere in practice to find the path of liberation. In this age, the greatest danger is not the external world, but the loss of determination for the path. When faith wavers and resolve weakens, one easily drifts into worldly currents and abandons practice. Thus, protecting the heart of the path is like guarding a lamp in the night. Though winds blow and rains pour, the flame must not be allowed to be extinguished. This steadfastness is not something distant. It is the sincerity and perseverance to stay on the virtuous way. Each day, even a little effort, a little mindfulness, is a step forward. The Buddha once taught that a drop of water falling continuously will fill a pond, and small good deeds done repeatedly will yield great results. Conversely, neglecting small virtues and tolerating small evils will accumulate deep karmic obstacles. Therefore, keeping the heart of the path means cherishing every present moment, knowing that each remaining breath is an opportunity to do good and practice. This meaning is even more vital in the age of degenerate Dharma, for when the world is full of falsehood and distraction, simply maintaining a bit of truth and awareness is already rare. Such steadfastness will spread like a small lamp capable of lighting an entire darkened space. Dear virtuous friends, and all those with the good fortune to hear these words, our birth and life in this age of degenerate Dharma are not accidental. Perhaps it is karmic fate, perhaps it is opportunity. For precisely when the teachings decline, preserving virtue becomes most precious. Precisely when darkness spreads, the light of true faith shines even brighter. Practice in this time demands patience, mindfulness, and great compassion. Remember, building grand temples, casting giant statues, or holding lavish festivals does not mean the Buddha Dharma is flourishing. The Dharma truly exists only when each person turns inward, uproots greed, hatred, and delusion, and nourishes compassion and wisdom. If everyone maintains a pure heart and performs wholesome actions, the Buddha Dharma will live on regardless of whether we call the age true Dharma, imitated Dharma, or degenerate Dharma. For the Dharma is not outside of us, it is right within this very mind. Therefore, in the remaining days of our lives, let us live with mindfulness, gratitude, and unwavering commitment to the path. Whether layperson or monk, whether in a temple or at home, if we live with awareness and compassion, we are already practicing. In this way, even in the age of degenerate Dharma, the path of liberation remains wide open, and the light of enlightenment still awaits those with enough resolve and faith to walk it.